Joining us this morning is Father Dan Hoffman. Hi, Father Dan. How are you?
Good morning.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
You are the parish priest for St. Titus here in Titusville.
That's correct, yes.
Well, before we get into what's going on, because this is a busy time of year, it's always busy, but let's learn a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm new to the area. I just got assigned to the parish in July, and I'm really happy to be here. I grew up in Erie. I'm the oldest of three. I've been a priest it will be 16 years in June.
Wow.
And really blessed in my vocation. I wouldn't give it up for the world. Really blessed that God has called me. As in life and as in every vocation, there's joys and sorrows and challenges and successes, failures, but God is good. And I've been really blessed in my ministry and every parish I've been assigned to.
And you're also super proud of growing up in Northwest Pennsylvania.
Absolutely, yeah. Erie, I'm sure a lot of people consider Erie the big city, but it's a big town and people are kind. And, so coming to Titusville, I feel that welcome and I feel that Northwest Pennsylvania hospitality. It's been great. Yeah.
When did you know that this is the direction you wanted to go in life?
So I kind of began thinking about it in grade school. I'm a cradle Catholic. I went to Catholic grade school, and I've kind of been surrounded by just good examples, not only in my family but just in the parish priests that I've known. And so they've always been good examples for me. So I kind of started thinking about it then, but in high school, I think I kind of made my mind up that I wanted to at least discern if this was what God was calling me to do. Had a really powerful experience on a retreat one summer, and after high school, and applied for seminary, and the rest is history. The Lord wanted me, and the church wanted me, and here I am. So,
you were fortunate. I think you were young when you discovered that path, right? It doesn't matter what age or where you are in life when you get that call.
Absolutely. One of my best friends, who's actually, he was ordained a priest at 62 years old. I was ordained at 26 years old, so just flip the numbers. But,
wow.
He's a convert to Catholicism. He grew up in a very devout Lutheran home. He had a very, great upbringing. But his elderly mother, he was the only one that was able to take care of his elderly mother. And he felt the call earlier, but he was just a devoted son, and he had a great job. And the cards just weren't right at the time. But when his mother passed away, he was able to answer that call. And he entered seminary in his 50s. God bless him, because he's probably surrounded by a bunch of 20-year-olds and 30-year-olds. But he persevered, and he's the pastor at Our Lady Queen of the Americas now in Conneaut Lake. One of my best friends, Father David Carter.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's never too late. Not only to answer your vocation, but just to say yes to the Lord, right? He's very kind, very merciful. He's patient. We're in the season of Lent. That's what Lent's all about, is just coming home. No matter how far you think you're away from the Lord, you're not that far. And He's just waiting for you to come home.
I love when you came in, or before coming on, you had mentioned just how beautiful, that this morning was. And I think when you kind of see what's going on, that change in weather, that life coming back, right? It's so perfect for this season of Lent and what it's leading up to. And it really is powerful. And to let yourself take that in and give yourself time to just think about that, it's pretty powerful.
Sure is. We're not in heaven yet, right? We're on a pilgrimage. And Lent is kind of that spiritual season where we celebrate and enter into that pilgrimage. A lot of the churches over the weekend, if the gospel for the weekend was Jesus being tempted in the desert. So he kind of prepares the way for us. He shows us how to make a holy Lent. We will be tested. We will have our trials. We will have our crosses to bear. But we just have to realize that we're never alone, and that's the voice of the enemy. Well, you have to do this all by yourself. But the really humble person, the really holy person, is the one that's not afraid to cry out to the Lord and ask for help. You know, it says in the letter to the Romans, all who call upon the name of the Lord will be saved. And so we just have to have confidence that the Lord is there and he will save us if we call upon him. Yeah.
You mentioned coming to Titusville recently. Talk about that journey here. Where have you been, and your initial thoughts coming here?
And so a lot of folks don't quite understand. We make 3 promises when we're ordained priests and deacons, and one of those promises is a promise of obedience to the bishop. And it's not kind of like a slave relationship or just a kind of power play, but it's really an act of trust and humility that, I'll go wherever the Lord wants me to go. And we see in our bishop, our spiritual father, and kind of that channel of God's will for us. And so when I got the call from Bishop Persico to become the parish priest here in Titusville, I was very happy to answer that call. Of course, it's always hard to leave, because wherever we're at, these parishes, they're our family, they're our spiritual family. So I was in Erie before that, actually at my home parish, Our Lady of Peace. Huge parish, huge suburban parish grade school. Of course, knowing a lot of people from just growing up there, but a lot of just good connections, and it was tough to leave. But coming to Titusville has been a very, very easy transition because, like I mentioned, not only people at the parish have been very welcoming and encouraging, but just the town. I walk around town and people are friendly and welcoming. They recognize I'm a new face, and they've been very, very welcoming to me. So I've been in Edinburgh. I've been the pastor of Our Lady of the Lake Parish in Edinburgh. I did some graduate studies as a priest in Washington, D.C. in the School of Canon Law at Catholic University. So I also do some canon law work for the diocese up at St. Mark's Catholic Center in Erie. So I've been all over the place.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Again, as you mentioned, it's hard to leave, but also when you get that calling, it's an opportunity. And you seem like somebody who enjoys meeting new people.
I do, absolutely.
Now, you also a big fan of sports.
I am.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Can't wait for baseball season. And just, making the sports analogy, Lent is like our spring training, right? We're getting ready for, the joy of the resurrection, the new life of Easter. And so Lent's kind of like our spring training that we enter into with prayer, fasting, almsgiving, these beautiful spiritual practices to help us to live the more abundant life in Jesus that he's won for us in the resurrection. So, but yeah, always been a sports fan. Just growing up as a kid, my dad, took us to games. My brother and I growing up. I know it's probably not the most popular team, but I'm a Cleveland fan. I like the Browns. I like the Guardians. I like the Cavs. And, I just, it's one of my hobbies. I love to just play sports when I get the chance. I'm a runner. I'm a hiker. But when I have free time, it's just nice to sit down and watch a baseball game, or on Sundays watch a football game. Yep.
I want to ask you your thoughts on getting Kenny Pickett, but we'll save that for another time.
Appreciate that. Yeah, the Browns are a little bit of a dumpster fire right now, so yeah, we need to pray for them.
Talk about again. It's always a busy time, but you offer a number of services for people to attend.
Sure.
Talk about when folks can attend. Are there special services during the season of Lent?
Sure. So yeah, our regular Mass schedule, we have 4:30 Mass on Saturday evening, and then an 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock Mass in the morning on Sunday. So please, everyone is welcome. You don't have to be Catholic to come to Mass. We'd love to have you join our parish community. Just experience, if you're a visitor or interested, just to come and experience worship with us. But throughout the season of Lent, we also have beautiful Lenten devotion called Stations of the Cross on Thursday evenings at 6:30 p.m. So every Thursday during Lent, we'll have the Stations of the Cross, which is also another beautiful way to enter into the Lenten journey, literally to walk the very same steps that Jesus walked on his way to Calvary to save us and to bring us to the Father, bring us healing, bring us salvation. And during Holy Week, we also have some very special services throughout the week. If you're interested, please, you can go to our website, sttitus.com, and it has the full Lenten and Holy Week schedule on it. And you'd be more than welcome. Everyone's welcome to join us in prayer and worship.
Yeah, a lot of great content. The schedule's there. You also have a link for 5 things you should not do during Lent.
Yeah.
You can click on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tease that at all. But.
Sure. Yeah, everyone... it was kind of I read the article and just prayed with it, and it just was intriguing to me because everyone's like, this is what we should do for Lent. And then when I said read what we should not do, I was like, that looks interesting. So, just kind of the main point is, we all go into Lent with these huge plans. Like, I want to do this and this and this, and I want to kind of be a spiritual superhero. And sometimes the best Lent is very humble, where we do something quiet. And not a whole lot of people might see it or recognize it, but the Father does. Our Father God does, and that's what's most important. So a Holy Lent isn't doing all these penances or suffering. A Holy Lent is really just entering into quiet and listening and prayer with the Lord. And yes, it should involve some fasting and some sacrifice, but that just opens our heart and makes more room for Him. So. Yeah, it's a great article. It's posted on our website. Check it out. But it just helps us to kind of prayerfully discern not what do I want to do for Lent or what are other people doing, but what am I called to do from the Lord this Lent.
You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Here with Father Daniel Hoffman this morning, parish priest at St. Titus in Titusville. So glad you stop by to visit with us. It's great to get to know you. And again, such a beautiful church, and services are available, as you said, by going to sttitus.com. You can kind of see the Mass schedule and those special events happening during this Lenten season. When it comes to welcoming families, are people timid when they first come to visit? And I'm not saying your church. I'm just saying overall when it they finally say it's time to go, and hopefully that is more than just Easter or Christmas. Mm-hmm. But do you have conversations with people? What keeps somebody or a family from attending church today? Sure,
it's a great question. So yeah, I first of all just want to the Father's house is open to everyone, and I think. Sometimes families might be a little intimidated, especially if they have a lot of children, or especially young children. I don't, want my kids to be kind of distracting, or I don't, what if they act up, or what if I have to take them out? It's okay. They're welcome. Jesus makes it clear in the scriptures, let the children come to me, do not prevent them. And so we need to make sure our churches, and I really want to stress and I'm really trying to make sure St. Titus in particular is very welcoming to families, especially families with children, to know that you're welcome. This is our place of rest for the week. This is our place of refreshment. But it's also meant to be a spiritual family. We're not meant to be lone rangers on the journey. So a church, a parish, is meant to be a spiritual family, a community to help us and for you to help another person, another family perhaps, on their journey to heaven. But I do think, especially if you're, new to the area or new to the parish, or maybe just frankly are thinking of coming back to church if it's been a while. And I know COVID really kind of messed up a lot of schedules in our church practice. And I mean, we're seeing people coming back, and it's great. But if you're in any of those situations, I just want you to know, like, not only St. Titus, but I can confidently say, just meeting other pastors in the area, that we want you back, and don't let that apprehension hold you back. Your families are welcome, your children are welcome, and it's really where you need to be. We all need to be there to be nourished by the Lord. So, and
kind of speaking of that family, on a during Mass, you've got people around you that help bring Mass to the people in attendance, from music to just, maintenance. There's a lot of people involved. Who do the people who visit get to meet at the church?
Absolutely. Yeah. Praise God for my staff. I really couldn't do it by myself. But even just the people you see on a Saturday evening or a Sunday if you come to Mass. I have a really wonderful gentleman who's the deacon of our parish, Deacon Kevin Harmon, who's been invaluable in his help to me. And so he assists not only at the Mass, but every now and then he'll preach the homily. He helps, to distribute Holy Communion. He does a bunch of just other things behind the scenes. He works with our altar servers and other ministers to make sure they're prepared. So, and we also have different liturgical ministries that people do. Lectors who proclaim the Word of God, extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion that help distribute Holy Communion. We have our ushers and ministers of hospitality that are there to greet you when you come, to make sure that you feel welcome and to help you with anything you need during the service, during the Mass. So, and then just the day-to-day workings of the parish. I have a wonderful administrative assistant, maintenance staff, director of religious education. So we have a really good staff that helps our parish run smoothly and continue the work of the gospel.
And there are office hours. If somebody wanted to sit down with you and begin a conversation, they can schedule an appointment.
100%, and I would welcome that. Normal office hours are 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. But also all of our information, my information especially, it's on our website and in our parish bulletin. So you can always reach out via phone call or even send me an email if it's outside of office hours, and if you just want to have a conversation about whatever. If you want to go to confession or have some spiritual counseling, or if you're praying or discerning something, or if you're just frankly interested in the parish and want more information to see if this is the right place for you, I'd love to sit down with you either during office hours or even outside. Yep.
I'm sure you see this. I see this. When you talk to people or people you come across. With life, there's so much stress. There's just questions that are being asked. I often wonder, do they make time to take advantage of this, to come in and have a conversation, to at least start that process? Because there's so many wonderful things that can come out of that.
Of course. Yeah, so we kind of make priorities for what's important in our life. And unfortunately, in our culture today, it's so noisy. We have so many commitments, especially if, you're a family with children or young children. You have dance practice, soccer practice, basketball practice, music lessons, parent-teacher meetings at school or whatever, and just your jobs too. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, but and it doesn't seem like in church can seem to be like just another thing to add on. So I just want to encourage you to make time in your day for your relationship with the Lord. It really has to be the foundation of our life, and if that's the case, everything else falls into place. God can never be outdone in generosity. So really, I encourage you to, if you haven't, or if you need to make more time for prayer, make more time for church participation, not only for yourself, but for your family. You won't be disappointed. But it is a challenge. Trust me, I get that.
You mentioned sports and outdoor recreation. What do you enjoy? Some hobbies specifically? Do you enjoy just hiking? You mentioned running.
So yeah, I'm a runner. I ran my first and maybe only marathon a couple years ago. It's called the God's Country Marathon. It's in Potter County in our state. It was a wonderful experience, and I'm grateful that I had the opportunity and was able to finish and run the race. But I think now I'm more geared to just running half marathons. So training for my next half marathon May 3rd at Ohio Pile. And I'm
Nice area.
I'm excited for that. But I'm also a hiker, so I'm grateful to be, especially in this area with Oil Creek and all the beautiful trails we have around here. So, and my day off or just when I have some free time, I'm usually outside running or hiking, especially now that the weather's getting nicer. I was able to just take a little bit of vacation a couple weeks ago, visit some friends in Arizona, northern Arizona. So Sedona area, I got to the Grand Canyon, and it was incredible. I got a lot of hiking and outside time then too. So,
Father Daniel Hoffman joining us. Thank you so much for being a guest. Come back.
I'd love to. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.